Good afternoon, SpeedGaming fans, and welcome to this presentation of the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 3, Game 2 between Team Never Do Chickens and Team Hime. We are playing all dungeons and co-op info share this week. Of course, with a win earlier this week, Alaszun and Dracarys have a chance to take two in today's little tilt with Rayvis and Dragonstrike representing Team Hime. I am Zeruvian. I'll be taking you through the early parts and hopefully the late parts of the seed as well. So what I'm hoping to see here, personally, is something a little bit kinder than some of the stuff we've seen earlier this week. Because routing is definitely a thing when you're going back and forth with a teammate. We should be getting going here in just about 1 minute. Just to recap things a little bit, we did have Alaszun and Wolfie take a win earlier this week, and we're looking to see whether or not they go for a second one. Team Hime, of course, very close game. Very close game. If you haven't seen that one, go back earlier onto SpeedGaming 3. That is in the VODs. Alright, friends of SpeedGaming, who are you rooting for? Do you want to see Never Do Chickens take it 2 in a row, or do you want to see Team Hime make this interesting and tie up the series? 1-1 for the end of Week 1. Everybody wants a split 1-1. That's more interesting when it comes to the overall standings. As league goes on through the later weeks, you kind of see who's got all the points, and you kind of see who's got a little bit of catching up to do. And all these early games are what makes the difference. And we've got the runners getting going here. We're going to see Sanctuary on the right side for Rayvis and Dragonstrike, and looks like Dracarys started at the wrong spot. I would imagine he managed to wanted to go to Sank as well, and accidentally ended up in the house. So this is the third time I've seen this play where both runners on a team will start over at Sanctuary, and one will go ahead and do that Houlihan open. Very good to have the early money on the off chance that Zora is your early logical progression. Otherwise, pretty typical beginning for our runners here. And you see a mirror in Uncle's chest for Alaszun. That's going to be important moving on forward, as we do have to do all dungeons on the seed. So that mirror may very well be the way we get into Desert, and it's going to be required for Swamp Palace no matter what. All right, with that money that Dragonstrike got from the Houlihan play, he's going to go ahead and buy these bombs over by the shore. That's pretty typical start to the seed. Nothing doing for us on the Hylia Island, so I don't think we'll see anybody going out of their way to pick up a little extra money later on. And Alaszun already going ahead to check up South Shore. We're going to see 5 checks in Mini Moldworm Cave. All right, Mini Moldworm Cave having a little bit of extra money for us. So far, nothing really exciting on this seed, but we do have a glove in that 5th check. So that is one of the 3 pieces we'll need for Dark World access, and does give us a few logical options moving forward.
I don't know which team I'm rooting for today.
You have no idea which team?
Yeah, I know as commentator you're supposed to be impartial, but I like both of these teams are some of my favorite players and runners on it, so it's gonna be really interesting to see how's it going.
It's going, Fear Agent. Welcome aboard. Just getting started here. Not really anything too exciting. We are getting some syncs together, so a couple of the streams will freeze up for a few seconds. Put everyone on the same page here. So far, we've seen a mirror and a glove and a flute. A flute as well. What do you make of that, Fear Agent?
Flute's really nice. So Dragonstrike will be able to go clear out the Mini Moldworm Cave, and then I imagine he'll take that flute immediately over to Kakariko and get Rayvis to grab that flute as soon as possible as well. And there's the Moon Pearl there, the back of the well.
And that's our second piece of Dark World access already with the glove, the Moon Pearl. We just need another glove or a hammer, and we're talking about a wide open seed here.
Yeah, and you see Drac just save and quit right out of the well to go pick up that flute, because it's going to make the rest of the seed so much easier to navigate.
Flute is such a very important quick movement item. It allows for such smooth routing all over the place, and right now that gives us access to the mountain. Not too much we can do up there unless you see a hook shot or a hammer.
Right, but we do have logical access to Terrapara, though there's no way to actually kill Moldworm. But the only thing we're really missing right now for like super efficiency is the boots, because with both the mirror and the flute makes routing choices so much easier.
Yeah, the ability to double up your light and dark world checks later on because you have that mirror is going to make things very, very nice. It's going to make for a quick seed, hopefully.
Yeah, I want to say there was like a 9-second difference between the 4 runners in average time for the last race, or something like crazy like that. It was really close.
Yeah, that one was crazy close. Of course, 9 seconds in the average time. When you've got 4 players on the screen, that tells you how close it is. Rayvis is going to pick up his flute in just a second here, and we're going to see the front of Escape from Dragonstrike.
This is, I take it, this is our first look there?
It is indeed. And of course, not having any permanent weapon, we're going to be doing this with bombs, which is not atypical for the level of talent we have on the stream right now.
Yeah, 10 bombs will get you through, no problem. Kina Samari is really nice. Not something that's going to open up anything early, but it's a nice item to have. So you don't have to worry about it later for Mire and Turtle Rock as well as Ice Palace. So
yeah, it's one of those things you definitely want to see earlier rather than later in a seed. It does make a few of your dungeons considerably faster when you talk about doing Diver Down and Icebreaker. But of course, going on that cane hunt just to be able to finish Mire or go into TR, we're no longer worried about that.
I love the self-sacrifice strats for the guard there. Oh, there's the mitts. So that's actually going to give us Dark World access right now with that Moon Pearl.
That it does. Dark World access at just over 6 minutes is kind of crazy. Not unheard of, but oh my goodness.
The worst part about it is they don't really have a weapon yet. There's no sword, there's no hammer.
We see a couple of birds being let loose on the left side of the screen. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not one of them decides to take this up to the mountain eventually. But now with Dark World access, I have to feel like someone's going to be taking a dive even without a weapon here. And the good old dreaded green pendant in Swamp Palace. We've already seen that do some things for us today, but is that vanilla-ish boot sitting in the back of Sahasrah's closet?
Nice. Man, what a... I wish I was playing the seed, because you've got flute, mirror, and boots all under 10 minutes. Now, that doesn't mean the rest of the seed won't be rude, but at least you get to do it quickly, right?
Yeah, everything you're going to be able to do on the seed is going to be fast. And you have so many other things that open up just because of the combination of Dark World and Mirror. And now the boots to boot. You've got King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks that are already sitting there waiting for you to check as well.
Yeah, lots of stuff to check. I'm actually a little surprised. No, I guess they don't have mitts yet. They haven't done escape, so it makes more sense for Drac to do Eastern here. I don't imagine we'll see Rayvis or Dragonstrike head into Eastern, knowing where the mitts are.
So then what we're hoping for here, if you're on Never Do Jitkin's side, you're probably expecting to find something in Eastern that's going to give you a leg up. Of course, we did see Rayvis pull a sword out of Ice Rod Cave, so that Dark World play is probably a little more enticing now.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to go to the Dark World regardless of if you have a sword or not, but it makes it that much nicer. I do hope that Team Hime goes and checks Saha before both of them go into the Dark World. And Alaszun going to pick up his sword now, share that information with Drac. I'm sure we'll see all of our runners make their way over there, especially with that flute. Makes it a pretty quick check. So,
Flute and Boots makes that hey, I should probably go do this.
yeah.
I believe he's set up to water walk here as well. So we don't have the money to go check King Zora, but we can get these few checks out of the way, no problem.
Yeah, Alaszun doesn't. Dragonstrike does, though, so we might see an actual Zora check from Dragonstrike. I imagine with Alaszun, we're going to check the waterfall here and then go to Hobo. And that's what it looks like. No fake flippering from Dragonstrike. He is going to go immediately into the Dark World, though, and do those Mire checks. Yeah, it might be a minute until they go to Saha. We'll see.
Well, there's your Dark World map. Our second pendant in the Dark World is going to be on Turtle Rock today, so we could have an interesting circumstance where the Ice Rod decides to show up earlier than later.
Hobo's packing ether. And did you see what was required for Mire there?
I did. It was a Bombos symbol sitting there on the ground, so we're going to have to find that somewhere as well. And of course, with the medallions and TR being a pendant, it's possible to see it as deep as GT. Unless TR also happens to be asking for Bombos.
Yeah. Alright, so Drac is going to go pick up his sword. We're looking at inside Spec Rock. I didn't see anything on there.
Just a rupee pile sitting there.
Yeah. Ooh, nice lamp there in Checkerboard Cave. Not going to say no to that.
But it's just sitting there for you to grab. You kind of just grab it. It does tell you some things logically about where the seed might be asking you to go in sequence.
Yeah.
We are going to see Tower of Hera from Alaszun. That's not something you want to see for your first item.
Yeah. She might get locked out of here. Let's see. Nope, he's good to go.
Now, this could be crucial information for Team Hime if they go into desert here and find that it is boots locked, because we have not seen them go over to Sahasrarlo's closet yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, though, is that it might be a minute before they go over there with all that they have open. It is boots locked, though.
All right, so that early boots advantage will continue to be an advantage for Alaszun and Dracarys here.
And that's all that Dragonstrike can do here. He is going to walk out. I guess instead of mirroring, he's going to walk to the right so they can go check Agina's cave.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is you'll take the right exit and then just drop down instead of walking all the way around. I'm not sure if that's faster.
Alaszun did pick up another sword in Tower of Hera, so that's going to make this Moldorm fight a lot easier. Like, a lot easier.
You're talking about 3 spins instead of 6 slashes. That is considerably easier for Moldorm, who has a nasty tendency of knocking you around. But not today.
So Drax going to get the information about the minute, so we'll see Alaszun probably make his way over there sooner rather than later, because I think they're pretty close to being out of spots.
In a roundabout way, this kind of worked in their benefit, because they have more
sure.
light world done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so Team Hime is not going to do Saha until they hopefully find a bow, which we know is not in Eastern, and we know is not in Saha. So when they find a bow, they'll be more incentivized to go over there and pick up those boots. Hopefully for them it's sooner rather than later.
All right, Dracarys now has a mitt, and Alaszun, I would imagine, is probably going to get Bonk Rocks out of the way.
Just those 10 arrows. So Alaszun going to make his way over to the castle now to pick up his mitts. We'll see where Drac wants to go. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make the Mire play, similar to what Dragonstrike did.
We got Rayvis is doing our loop through South Dark World, and that means we'll get to see Hype Cave, or so it's called, in just a moment here.
Yeah, we're still in the hunt for that hammer as well.
At this point, there's a number of things that could just blow the seed wide open. Usually you need 2 items to do that. In this case, you have so many checks that come available with a hook shot, a hammer, flippers.
Yeah, so I think, I'm not 100% sure because there's 4 screens going on. I think he might have skipped, Rayvis might have skipped the Smith chain. He does get the hook shot, though. That's going to open up a bunch more in Death Mountain, both the light world and the dark world.
I do believe he did not pick up the Smith, and unfortunately that means it's going to be something we'll have to go back to do, but it is easier to go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, we did see a hook shot in Hype Cave. What do you think of that, Fear?
It's huge. It's huge. It means we're probably going to find some stuff over here because we've got all of Paradox. We've got a Hookshot Cave. We've got a Super Bunny. So there's bound to be something over here, right? Can't be that empty.
You've got at least 12.5 checks over here between the light and the dark world. There's got to be something, right? Something.
There's got to be something. Of course, it could just be that Smith chain that they skipped.
Yeah, Hookshot almost always locks something. Especially in all dungeons, it kind of has to.
And Drax actually going to be able to show us what's in desert since he does have the boots. So is able to get the big key off the torch. It's a small key in the big chest, and we'll see where Alaszun goes. He might head over to the Village of Outcast, Skullwoods area, and it looks like that's what he's doing. But we are going to get a look at Super Bunny here from Rayvis.
it does look like we're going to have an item stuck on Lamulus. As right now we don't have a fire source to deal with that.
Oh, that's true, yeah. So not much in Super Bunny Cave. Turtle Rock being independent, you really hope it's not something locked. Okay, so it's Quake for Turtle Rock. You're hoping to find that before GT, because both the Quake Medallion and the Ice Rod could be in GT here.
Let's see, so Dracarys actually did go to Checkerboard Cave and pick up that lamp, which means now he can go ahead and finish Desert if he so chooses.
Yeah, with an item there, I imagine he's going to head right back.
It actually works well pretty for Alaszun, unless it's... Ooh, there's your hammer.
Yeah,
sitting at the end of Hookshot Cave. So I was saying, that's a... Sorry.
A speedy seed. Yeah, this is a speedy seed.
This is going all over the place. It works out well for Alaszun. If it happens to be nothing on Lamulus, he can just come back and clean it up later and make literal mincemeat out of them.
Just 50 bucks dug up there. So we get Paradox now, so...
Yeah, now no reason not to go ahead and do Smith Chain. You have the hammer. You can get... Actually, Dragonstrike didn't pick up the powder, I don't think, according to his tracker anyway.
Where was the powder? I don't remember.
Honestly, don't remember either,
oh,
and that's
look
huge.
At that. That's a required Smith Chain.
Huge.
Yeah. I know Kermit... Oh, there's the mushroom in Paradox. I know Kermit's not happy about that. Also a member of Team Hime.
Yeah, that location looks kind of familiar. You see Alaszun also taking care of Smith Chain, picking up his flippers, so he'll be relaying that to Dracarys here.
You're just looking at our loadout. We're missing the 2 rods. We're missing the bow. That's it. Oh, we need medallions. We need 2 medallions. Both Bombos and Quake. But once they find the bow, Bombos, Ice Rod, or excuse me, bow, Bombos, Fire Rod, that puts them in GT mode.
So that single arrow on Lamulus means Desert is a cleanup dungeon. You don't have to worry about getting there in any quick hurry here.
Also means that hobo check of ether is not required.
So Rayvis having the powder is going to go ahead and turn in this mushroom. We'll see if that has anything for us.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah, I'd be willing to say that's kind of important. It always feels weird when you see Ice Rod show up before Fire Rod when you know that Skull Woods is a crystal.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so all these overworld checks, the only dungeon I think we've seen our runners head into is both Eastern and Hera. So now with our loadout, we're going to see some dungeon diving. Nobody stepped foot in Thieves Town, and it's going to work out for our runners. Rayvis now is going to be... Maybe he might have done the first war. I might have missed that, but...
Nope, that's his first dive right here.
It. Yeah, just open it.
We did see all of Desert, and Desert's pretty empty for us here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about Desert. Yeah, so we've seen a decent amount. But we've got Skull Woods. Can't finish that one yet. We've got Thieves Town's fully clearable. We've got Swamp that's fully clearable. Nobody in Ice. Oh, there's Bombos. So that opens up Mire and Ice Palace.
Now, it's one thing that's going to benefit Team Hime here is they've already picked up a hammer. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take for Never Do Chickens to get up to Hookshot Cave here with all of this other stuff they can do down in the early Dark World.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Alaszun going to pick up that hookshot here, so that's going to send him right up to the mountain with Drac doing Thieves Town. If he leaves something in the big chest, Alaszun can clean it up.
See, at this point, even if you do leave something in the big chest, there's a decreasing possibility there's going to be something useful here. Alright, so Rayvis going into the back of Thieves Town as Dracarys right on his heels, finishing up the front here. And Alaszun is going to go ahead and... Where are you going? Up the mountain, my friend. I cannot get over that spot for the hammer. It's so telegraphed, but you might look at it and just think, why is this here? So this is looking to be the Swamp Palace play for Dragonstrike. Swamp Palace is, of course, the richest of the dungeons in terms of total items that can be checked. It is our green pendant as well, so it ends up being a 7-item play for us. Whether or not one of those items is a bow or a medallion that we need is, well, up to chance here. And so far, nothing exciting out of Thieves Town. We've only seen that Bombos medallion come up and be handy for us. As we head on down to the basement to save the maiden, and we get a shield for our trouble. That's actually a nice shield. It's actually a very nice shield. Right as you go into the blind fight. I don't think our runners here will have any issue with it. For sure. This is invitational for a reason. But it's still a good little safety item to have. You don't get interrupted trying to do some things later on. Just 10 arrows in the big chest. So I don't think Dracarys and Alaszun are going to be happy to see that when the second one goes to check it later. So in just a moment here, Alaszun is going to find his hammer and pick that up and relay that information over to Dracarys and be like, hey, there's something really great up here. You need to come get it. And a pair of very nicely done scripted blind fights for both Dracarys and Rayvis.
Yeah, nicely done. So where are we going to find that bow? Is it going to be here in Swamp, or is it going to be somewhere dumb like Pod?
I'm starting to think Ice Palace might have something for us. It's only 3 items, but Ice Palace has this tendency to just drop something in our lap and be like, here you go.
Yeah, especially with that Bombos there.
Oh, Bombos locking Fire Rod in Ice Palace is one of the rudest things you could ask for.
I feel like it's way too common, too. So, Dragonstrike is going to head over and do left side swamp first. I think I saw him pick up a map, so that would make sense as to why he's
when you see a dungeon item,
and skipping anything.
You're pretty much guaranteed an item on left side as soon as you see that map or compass.
So Drac wasn't able to do hammer pegs because he doesn't have the hammer yet. We are seeing Rayvis give us our first look. And there's the fire rod.
Oh boy.
Wow.
That's a spot for that, isn't it?
What a smith chain today.
I think I would take that fire rod and dart straight into Skullwoods here.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully for Never Do Chickens, I mean they've got that. Both of them have got their flippers. So you know you're a little less incentivized to do hammer pigs. But I don't think they want to isolate that, because once you know both have done 2/3 of the smith chain, you're done with Thieves Town. You don't really want to go back. So hopefully Alaszun will go and do the hammer pigs then. I imagine that's what they'll do.
Yeah, I would hope that's something that you just think, I don't want to leave this behind. And in this case, you really don't want to leave that behind.
Yeah, it's the best opportunity to do it.
It's one of those you think, if I don't do this now, when am I going to do it? And so far, nothing really coming up for us in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and here's the bad thing for Team Hime is now they've been 20 minutes without the boots, and that time is just going to continue to compound for them until they find a bow. Honestly, like they're not going to go do the back of Saha with all that they have open until they can clear pod. So that might be a real difference here. Oh, there's our bow.
Oh, just as prescribed, the bow sitting in the flooded room in the back of Swamp Palace.
Wow, so we are officially in GT mode, which kind of stinks because that quake could be anywhere.
It really can. And there is so much that we still haven't looked at. I mean, no one's stepped foot into pod. We haven't seen anyone step into Mire. I don't believe Team Hime has the knowledge of what's in Desert, because they still haven't gotten the boots, but they're going to be able to go ahead and clean up Eastern and Pod together here.
Yeah.
So you think the seed's going to be kind to us and put Quake in our path, or are we going to have to go find it?
That's a great question, because we're sub 30 and in no mode. With the bow not being super inconvenient just in the back of Swamp Palace, which I imagine Never Do Chickens will do here pretty quickly. I imagine Never Do Chickens will get their fire rod here pretty quickly. How long is it going to take to find that Quake medallion? And do you just skip as much as you can? That's true. They do need to turn in that mushroom as well. So that's pretty quick with the flute. I imagine they'll do that sooner rather than later. And it's not super imperative to be done immediately.
Yeah, mushroom is more of a convenience check later on. You don't have to bull rush it, flute or not, but at the same time, you have powder, so you have really no reason not to turn it in.
Mm-hmm.
And Alaszun takes down his blind, and we're going to see Dracarys take down Moldorm here. Now, Dragonstrike...
It looks like he's heading over to pod, which this is really good for Team Hime.
They're going to get the information of the boots sitting in the back of Zahasrala's closet. That's going to feel bad for a moment, but then you're going to be able to just bull rush right through Pod and Eastern. You're going to have 2 dungeons done in quick fashion here.
All right, so Never Do Chickens is going to get their fire rod here. That's not surprising.
Little close call for Rayvis here on Moth. Has to pull out that blue potion we got earlier. But torches the Moth there, and we're all good.
haven't seen anything in Skull Woods, but again, all that we're looking for is that Quake medallion at this point. And Dragonstrike, instead of going to pod, he's going to go to Catfish. Doesn't want to isolate this. And then from Catfish can mirror, and he's got Ice open, he's got Mire open, he's got pod and Eastern, and pod, it has to be real spicy right now. I imagine that's got to be his next play.
And I don't remember, did we see any of our runners go to Zora yet?
No, we haven't.
So this actually works out pretty well for Dragonstrike to get that information.
Yeah, Alaszun did fake Flipper, so we saw inside of Waterfall Ferry, but he didn't have the money for Zora, so we didn't see those checks there. Just 10 arrows from the old Catfish. And with no bow in hand, Rayvis, splitting up the checks, gonna go do Ice Palace. This makes sense. You've got Canis Mara, you can get through here pretty quickly.
And Dracarys is gonna go ahead and turn in that mushroom now and get his Ice Rod for the trouble. And that is information that Alaszun is going to want. I would hope that after Skull Woods he goes and takes Hammer Pegs out of the way.
Yeah, it looks like Drac is actually just going to go get his Fire Rod right now. Alright, Zora gives us just a heart piece.
Love isn't cheap these days, it seems.
Apparently not.
We're going to see some Icebreaker action from Rayvis. That's going to make Ice Palace considerably quicker than doing it the old-fashioned way. It's one of the benefits of that very early cane we saw, and that's one of the keys to the dungeon, just sitting there in the big key chest, so that's going to push an item potentially all the way down to Iced Tea. Yeah, and just as you prescribed, Dracarys is going straight for that Fire Rod, and that's some information.
What do you think? Do you think Quake's going to be in GT?
I would hope not. I would like to see Quake kind of chill out in pod here. I'm not expecting it to be, but it would be very nice.
All right, so Dragonstrike is making his way over to pod. This is good. Hopefully he mirrors right here and grabs his boots. He's not going to feel great about it because of how free they were, but
yeah, I would like to see him mirror before he goes in at this point. I know a lot of runners like to do the dungeons and then turn in the pendant on the way out. Dragonstrike
just walks right past it. Oh, is he going?
And he just remembered too.
This is good.
Okay. Of course, that means he'll have to throw another dime at Kiki the Monkey here when he goes back. But this is definitely worth the price of doing business.
Yeah, which is funny because he barely had enough money for it there. He did get an advance from Saha, but.
So I didn't see anything unearthed in Ice Palace either. We do see Rayvis now has that mirror shield.
Yeah, I mean, all we're looking for now at this point is Quick. We've got everything else. Yeah, sword would be nice. Of course, silvers could be nice, but they're really just trying to get through this as fast as they can. So get us that Quake is what they're saying. And Rayvis, with a nice Cold Star fight, is going to make his way over and get those boots right away, I imagine.
Do you think they go opposites here and Rayvis does Eastern first instead of pod?
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, I could see that.
I'll try to cover as much ground as you can. We already know Eastern doesn't really have anything. I don't remember if there was an item on the Armos Knights or not.
I don't think so. The big key was vanilla, and Drac left right after getting that key, so I think he got all 3 items right out the gate. Right, Rayvis still needs to go to Swamp to get his bow, so he's just going to go grab those boots. And I imagine he'll probably take a dip into Swamp to get that bow. It's going to be a real quick dip since you only have to do the back.
It is going to make the Swamp play a little bit faster, too. There's a lot of straight line dashing you can do therein. So we have a question in chat. We're asking where we have seen swords. There was one sword in Ice Rod Cave. I believe all 4 runners have that one. There was another sword in Tower of Hera in the big chest.
Yeah, that's the one that Rayvis is missing. I believe it's not on our tracker, but I believe Dragonstrike did do Hera.
And chat pointing out we do have both of the 5-6 crystals with that Ice Palace play for Rayvis, so we're going to see whether or not Pyramid Fairy might have our Quake Medallion.
Yeah, it's possible. I feel like whenever I'm doing a co-op, usually we're skipping, especially in GT mode, looking for a medallion. At this point, I feel like you open up the chests that are convenient. You don't go out of the way for anything and just kind of rush GT. We'll see if these runners want to do the same thing. But they did so much overworld to start out with. All they really have left is dungeons, and that was due to the fact that they had both flute, mirror, and boots also early. So the puff's getting away from Drac. Does have to be careful. He's going to pop this blue potion. Okay, just playing it safe. Don't want to take a death here.
So now we got both top runners are going through Swamp Palace, so they'll get a bow in very quick fashion here. We didn't see Dragonstrike do it, but Alaszun's setting up for this front side diver down, which is very nice. It's going to save him a few seconds.
Yeah. A little surprised to see Dragonstrike didn't do it, especially since he did do diver down in the back, so I don't know.
Yeah, but he's the left side diver down and back. If that's the one you practice to know, then I can see that being the case.
Sure. We got ourselves a cape. I don't know if anybody ever checked Bumper Ledge. I didn't see anybody go that way. I didn't see anybody check Graveyard Ledge either.
I was thinking Graveyard Ledge when we were talking about how much overworld we've done. That's one of the few isolated locations we just haven't been to yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You think maybe this is a Meyer play?
Yeah, this is 100% Meyer.
And already having been here before, he's just going to go right in.
And there's going to be so many empty checks looking for this Quake. It will allow our runners to get a couple more hearts usually, so that's nice.
Rayvis has what he needs.
Yeah, pod coming up pretty empty, but again, we are looking for one item with all of these checks, so that's not that surprising. We'll see if Drac wants to full clear Meyer. Let's see if he gets like an early big key. Does he go straight to Vidi? I feel like that's the play. I guess we'll just see what we get. I'm curious to see how thorough they are going to be. They're still looking for that bow, though. They're about to get that information that there's a bow sitting in Swamp Palace. So
I would almost wonder if you get the knowledge of the bow and you just go ahead and just alter course immediately, go straight to Vitreous if you have your big key.
Yeah, it's possible, though. Just a small key there. Rayvis showing us the misadventures of Quick Swap, accidentally hitting the bombos, trying to swap over to the ice road there.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, that's that's one you would rather do on accident, not the one that everyone's waiting to see.
Yeah.
We did see Dragonstrike now has tempered, so he found that deep into pot. That's going to make things very cozy going up GT and with the Ganon fight later on.
Oh, nice.
Especially if we don't see silvers.
Yeah, totally missed that. Do you know where the sword was?
I want to say it was in the back. I would think it was Dark Maze. I didn't see him pick it up personally. That's why we have a pair of trackers helping us out here today.
Yeah, big shout out to our trackers.
Yeah, big shout outs DJ Darkwing D and Westside Vandal. It was Dark Maze bottom chest. Thank you very much, Wes. Dracarys is going to go ahead and full clear Mire with that big key now. And with that, we have either Vitreous or I don't think we saw a cutscene chest.
Yeah, not doing cutscene chest makes sense. So the last item is either going to be, it's a 50-50. You definitely take the shot at Vidi first, because waiting for the cutscene chest is just pretty unbearable as a speed run. And we just got to look at Pyramid Fairy from Rayvis. Not seeing Quake marked, so it doesn't look like that's the spot.
It's looking more and more like GT is going to be what holds our last required item here.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully for them it's not Graveyard Ledge, because I feel like that's going to be last location for everyone. It's just such an out-of-the-way check. Regardless, this race is really close. We see Draken tied with Rayvis with 4 dungeons cleared. But between all of our runners, it's neck and neck. No bow. Yeah, no bow, no tempered, no actual safety other than the bottle. Def Jack playing it safe again. I like it.
Trying to get Vidi into that sweet spot so you can just keep pounding away with that hammer. There it is. That was a pretty well executed fight for Dracarys.
Yeah, and was it an item or was it a dungeon item? I completely missed it. It was a bottle. Okay, so that means they don't have to worry about leaving anything there. That's good. So we're down to, unless you and I both missed it, Bumper Ledge, Graveyard Ledge. Spike Cave, I don't believe, has been checked.
I thought I saw someone go into Spike Cave, but that could be my imagination playing tricks on me.
This is why we have trackers. Wes corrected me. We did see Spike Cave. So we've got those 2 checks, and then we've got GT. So is there anything else that we're missing?
No, I think that's about it. And that, you can do the bumper and graveyard checks kind of together. Of course, Never Do Chickens does not have the information of the cape yet, so that's not something that they can actually go retrieve if that happens to be what we need. Yeah, we're getting into slim pickings here. So I would imagine that someone's going to have to take a gamble and just bull rush GT in a second.
Yeah, so Drac has, let's see, 5 crystals. He's got Skullwood's pod left to complete. It's going to do Swamp to get that bow. Rayvis still needs Desert, Hera Mire. And Dragonstrike has got some work to do as far as crystal count goes. So it looks like Drac will be our first one into GT today.
Yeah, Dragonstrike still has to pick up a couple items too. I don't believe he's turned in his mushroom yet either, and we see him picking up the fire rod right now.
Oh man, Rayvis missing the bomb jump there, which stinks because you have to reset the room by going to the basement.
Oh, it is slower overall, but as a younger runner, I do like resetting by going to the bottom of the bridge. I know it does play with some of the camera layout settings for some of the players, though. See some bomb diver down from Dracarys in the back of Swamp Palace.
I mean, if you do it quickly, I guess that's the way to go. And he did do it quickly, so.
So right now we're just watching our runners retrace each other's steps. It's going to be... We're not going to see anything new until someone decides to check Graveyard Ledge or Bumper Ledge or get 7 crystals and make their way up to GT.
It just shows how efficient these runners are and how much they've been practicing, communication and clearing. You don't see any of the two teams in the same spot at the same time unnecessarily. Rayvis did get his sword out of pod, so he will get tempered, I imagine, when he does Hera eventually.
Yeah, I'm going to gander all of our runners are going to end up finishing here on tempered unless that 4th sword happens to be directly in your search for Quake.
What's a little surprising to me is that neither Drac or Alaszun has touched pod yet, it looks like. I guess they did get the bow pretty late, so I guess that does make sense.
Well, Alaszun has a little bit of an advantage here, as he can actually just go ahead and just drop through Ice Palace and go mode it, because Dracarys has already been there.
Yeah, that's true.
So in terms of going to crystals, I'd say Dracarys is going to make that pod play now. And then he'll just have Mothula to go up to GT, and neither of them have done 5-6 yet, so that's something one of them will have to go to make sure that they're not missing anything.
Yeah, I wish I could be a fly on the wall here and hear what they're saying. If they're thinking, Drac, you're ahead on crystals, just focus on that and get into GT first, or I'd like to hear what it is exactly that their plan is from here.
So that's going to be the Ice Rod for Alaszun. Team Hime is catching up pretty quickly in terms of the crystal count here. As now they have 5 dungeons apiece, and it'll be very easy to go ahead and get the rest of them. Alright, so here's that Ice Palace play for Alaszun. We're going to see that Bumper Ledge check for Dragonstrike, and it's nothing. $20. So, as one would say, GT intensifies here.
It did skip Graveyard Ledge. Did someone check it and we just missed it? I don't know.
And I think right now he's just thinking he has better things to do if he can go ahead and knock out Skullwoods while he's over here. I don't believe we've seen Graveyard Ledge, and that's a little concerning because of how isolated it is. And at the same time, it's still just one check. So another interesting thing I'm noticing is that still our only bow so far was Independent Swamp Palace. So that's gonna... I'm willing to gather that's been a required bow 1 this entire time.
Yeah, I am. The other bow is either going to be in GT or Turtle Rock at this point. It would be funny if it was on Graveyard Ledge.
If it was on Graveyard Ledge, that would have that would have incentivized Go Modi Swamp later. Yeah, but this Tempered Swords should make this an easy Mothula fight for Dragonstrike. And just like that, Dragonstrike has 6 crystals or 6 dungeons now to Dracarys' 6.
Yeah, so he's got he'll clean up Myron Desert, and then he'll be able to breeze through ice since he already has the information from Rayvis that there's nothing there. I can't tell who's in the lead here. I'm not sure.
Oh, this is almost razor close because of how much information that's shared between the runners. You've got dungeons that you can just blast through. It's going to be a race to GT at this point, I think.
I think... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Drek did, according to our tracker, skip Tempered Sword, so that's not good. Though we do know that there's another sword out there somewhere, possibly Gan's Tower as well.
I think he's doing what we thought he was going to do. Is they're splitting, and he's going to just leave the checks for Alaszun to do, and go ahead and just bull rush crystals to GT.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is so close. It's so hard to tell who exactly is in the lead here. We're getting a green pendant turn in. I don't think... Have we seen this?
Yeah, it was just 50 rupees,
50
so it's going to
rupees?
be
Okay.
a little padding for the wallet, nothing else.
That's right, yeah.
It's going to be something that Dracarys will not have to do. He can just go straight to the dungeons. Another a quick swap blunder, throwing out the boomerang instead of the hook shot there.
Nice. Down goes Helmosaur for Drac there.
I still think it's more efficient to mirror and do Eastern now, as opposed to going straight back up to it.
Yeah.
And then if there's anything in the back of Pod that he might want to pick up, Alaszun will be able to tell him while he's finishing up Armos Knights. Yeah, like for example, that Tempered Sword sitting in Dark Maze, although they might choose to go ahead and forego that just to get an upper edge into GT.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if I imagine Alaszun's going to check Dark Maze here. The question I think then is, does Drac go back for it? I'm not sure.
So if you weren't looking at it, you missed a really nice fight with Cold Stare from Dragonstrike, with that Tempered Sword doing a lot of work for him. Oh, I'm seeing this and I like it. What actually they ended up doing is Dracarys got most of the front half pod, and Alaszun's doing the back, so he's going to pick up the cape here. And he'll need to go get another key if he wants to do Dark Maze. They might just choose to forgo it altogether here.
He doesn't need the key for Dark Maze. He is going to need a key for the back, though.
He's going to go ahead and set up a hammer up here. This is actually brilliant, because all you need now is a key for Helma, and chances are you're going to get one from the basement anyway. A little Burna Master Sword slashing for Rayvis here. He does not have any bottles, though, so he's going to have to be very careful.
Yeah. Oh, man. That lightning was so close. Only has 6 arrows here. Just a couple slashes should take care of it, though. Man, that was scary.
Talking about the skin of your teeth. Yeah, that'll do it. That is our 8th dungeon done for Dracarys. So now all he has to do is go straight to Mothula, and he can climb GT, no problem.
Yeah, and Drek is skipping that sword, which makes sense. Such a time sink to go back in there. And there's an opportunity, still looking for Quake to make that check.
Yeah, Team Hime.
I think the real question here is, so Drac is going to do Skullwoods, and that's going to be his 9th dungeon. Is he going to go check Bumper Ledge and Graveyard Ledge, or does he just head straight up to GT? I imagine he's going to make those skips.
And Team Hime is actually set up to both go into GT here. Dragonstrike's going to be able to combo Mire with Desert, and they'll have 7 crystals, and then Rayvis, he's going to be able to mirror straight to Hera and just blow through that. Yeah. He'll have 7 crystals as well.
Yep. Well, and I mean, Alaszun just has to finish up pod, and he'll have his 7th crystal. He will need to finish Eastern, so he is a little bit behind, but this is still close.
Alright, so here comes Mothula for Dracarys. Again, having not picked up that Tempered Sword, he's going to have to rely on Hammer here to do the most damage.
Yeah, we'll see lots of spins as well. Or just a couple hammer shots, because that's how good he is.
Yeah, it's pretty favorable movement patterns for Mothula on this fight. That was done in a very quick fashion.
Yeah, that was a real nice moth fight. That is crystal number 7, though. And we do play the big key guessing game. So Drac will be our first player into Ganon's Tower, where there are 22 different locations where the big key can be. Now, that's not the only thing that they're looking for, but that's what we're going to be counting for here. So get your guesses in chat as to where you think the GT big key will be, and we'll award some internet points to whoever is closest. Do you got a guess?
Yeah, I went for 13. No, 14. I saw 3 13s in a row, and it's stuck in my head now. I like the mid-range.
Like, yeah, I think it's gonna be like early, like 3.
This is invitational, as the question was posted in chat. This is game 2 between Never Do Chickens and Team Hime. As we are an hour in, we're looking for Quake, and we're pretty much down to it just being in GT at this point. So while we're guessing as to where the big key is, that's not the real item of importance here.
Yeah. All right, so Dragonstrike just has to get his big key from Desert and head to the back. Rayvis making his way up will mirror in front of Ganon's tower. Finish with Hera pretty quickly. Well, imagine he'll pick up that tempered sword in the big chest, and then he'll be ready to open up. And Alaszun's gotten his 7 crystals, but he does have to finish Eastern Palace since this is all dungeons.
Well, here goes GT for Dracarys. And, right, you know, it could be a fetch quest out of GT. We haven't seen the shovel yet. Shovel is still missing in action.
All right, we do get a key. He's not going to go right side, though. He's going to go left. That's a little surprising. You usually take that key and you head to Compass Room. But Drag says no. So we got a small key on the torch. I think that's number 3.
Dragon is not just checking Desert Palace. Dragon is doing Desert Palace. It's his last dungeon. There's half magic in the Stalfos room. That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's especially nice for Dracarys if he doesn't happen to pick up another sword, as he'll be able to use some cape strats on Ganon.
For sure. Still no big key. Still no Quake. Man, is it going to be Gray Red Ledge? Because that would be hilarious.
You know, the worst things here to see would be either a shovel or a book.
Yeah.
I especially wouldn't like seeing the book here, because that's 2 checks, and you've got to basically flip a coin as to which one you think is the item you need.
I mean, one of them is right outside of GT, so that one's not that big of a deal, but the other one is not the most convenient.
And that's why you don't want to see Shovel 2 book.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So here's Rando Room coming up for Dracarys, as Team Hime is both picking up their 7th crystal at the same time.
Yeah, so now they're able to like assess things a little bit more clearly. Never Do Chickens does have the lead, with Drac having almost full cleared the basement of GT. Team Hime will be able to split that up and make up a little bit of time, I think, but the Drag's just getting there so much quicker than everyone else. It's allowed Never Do Chickens to gain that advantage.
Oh.
There's that shovel.
There's your fetch quest that everyone's been looking for. Let's hope it's back here and we don't have to find it. Just waiting in the ground for us. That's one thing I would have hoped for, too, is if it's in the front of GT, you can just mirror out and go take care of TR and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we find silvers behind Armos.
Yeah, so I don't think Alaszun's going to be getting those silvers. He is heading to the right, though, so the big key is either Compass Room or Tile Room. And Quake could still be at the top of GT, which would be really unfortunate, because what you're hoping for is Quake, in the basement. You can mirror, go finish Turtle Rock, and then come back and climb GT. If it's at the top of GT, you're going to have to make an extra climb, which is just not that fun.
Well, we'll be able to see that in just a moment here. Dracarys coming up on Compass Room.
There's the big key.
Now, do you think one hangs back and does Tile Room?
That's tough. Hey, there's also the big chest as well.
That big chest is actually a little out of the way now.
Yeah, so Drac is doing Tile Room. Alaszun gonna make his way up. See what key was that? There was.
So top right of Compass Room, wouldn't that make it 18?
So 18. Let's see. There's 3, 4 checks. Yeah.
I happen to know that 18 is Adalor's favorite check number for the GT guessing game. Good job today. Enjoy those internet points.
Yeah.
Alright, if this is... Oh, boy.
Okay, so it's not Tile Room.
So we're down to those 4 checks at the top of GT. And the shovel. And it looks like no matter what, we're going to have to see another mountain climb here for all of our runners.
Pending the big chest, because Dragonstrike is making his way over. He does have that big key.
And Rayvis might tell him, hey, there's silvers back here if you want to waste a couple seconds on our most nights. And,
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
Silver's not too much of a time save with Tempered Sword in hand. He is headed that way.
Wow.
I mean, if you feel more comfortable climbing with silvers, by all means, go for it.
I'm a little surprised. The shovel, I guess getting the shovel is important. You don't want to leave that there.
Yeah, if you're already over here, you have to fight the Armless Knights to get over to the big chest anyway, so this really isn't a bad idea. So you have Alaszun already entering Wizrobes. So we'll have those last 4 checks coming up in just a moment.
I was worried Dragonstrike was going to mirror there, but he is going to check the big chest.
And this is pretty heads up, because if it's here, it's a huge swing that Team Hime needs to catch up a little bit.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, that is a backbreaker.
Yeah, that's the game right there.
That's so huge. Oh. And you would have thought one of them would have gone down to check it. They both got
it was such an inconvenient spot. It's such an inconvenient spot, though. Again, this is kind of what when Drac got that key out of Compass chest, and he was the only one there. I'm surprised he didn't go right and do the Compass room just to clear all of his bases, because you don't want to leave that big chest there, and that's the way they routed it. The big chest is 100% isolated, so. Oh man, that for it to come down to that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that's going to put Team Hime into go mode here. Straight up, you've got Dragonstrike going into TR.
We still got a while to go. We've got Turtle Rock and a GT climb for Team Hime, and still Aga. So there's still a lot of time. There's just not enough time for Never Do Chickens to make up the amount of time. So.
Because you've got an extra mountain climb. You have to go all the way back to GT basement. Then I think they're both going to go chase the shovel.
Well, Alaszun doesn't even have the shovel. So that's unfortunate for them.
And this is the kind of thing you might be worried about seeing in a co-op run, is both runners on the same screen having missed something.
So we are going to see Agatus from both our runners here. Alaszun have a little bit of trouble there with some of the patterns.
Dracarys just barely missing that triple there. But, oh.
And oh man, Alaszun had a perfect triple, but the Aga despawned the last ball, so had an extra cycle there. That was unfortunate.
See, Dracarys saying, watch Dig Spot have book. And I would feel so bad for having called that. I would feel so bad.
I mean, at this point, it has to, right? It's either Graveyard Ledge or Dig Spot has to have the book.
Well, book can be in TR.
Oh, that's true. I completely forgot about Turtle Rock. Yep. All right, so Dragonstrike going to steal that key, make his way to the back. Rayvis not too far behind.
It looks like both Alaszun and Dracarys decided to go ahead and take care of Castle Tower right now.
Yeah.
I'm not...
This makes sense. It's right. There's never a more convenient time to do it than right after Ganon, or excuse me, Aga2. So you have to do it. You just get it out of the way. When you finish Turtle Rock, after Turtle Rock, you can just save and quit and be right back on top of the pyramid as well. So.
Right, not seeing a key, so we're going to have to see Laser Bridge to some capacity here.
Yeah, I'm guessing he did Big Chest, right? Did he do Big Chest?
Yeah, the music reset, so he had to have.
Okay.
So I think it's at the top or the bottom of Laser Bridge, that key.
Probably top. Or not.
Just pulling out the cape. Map compass at the top.
The very bottom. I was completely wrong.
I love it too. When you start at the top, it's at the bottom. When you start at the bottom, it's at the top.
Alright, so Never Do Chicken's finishing up Aga 1. Dragonstrike about to make his way to Trinex with Rayvis right in tow. So we'll see how quickly they can wrap this up.
You know, presuming that they go straight back to GT and get the big chest here, which I do not think is going to happen. This has the potential to stay close.
No,
it probably won't.
Yeah, I mean, even if they did, it's too far gone. But that's not going to happen. They're not going back to GT. It's the last thing they do.
Well, here comes the shovel. And we're about to see some very disappointed dragon on Dracarys' screen.
So what's he going to dig up here? A sword?
The book. Oh my god.
Oh man.
For all the days of your commentator curse to be real.
So I think because the lava chest, I believe, was a key based on the layout there, and they checked everything else. I think one of the tablets has to have the last sword or graveyard ledge. Those are the 3 locations that we haven't seen yet.
So we are seeing that visual bumper for Alaszun now. Again, big 20, not what we want to see. And he'll make his way over to graveyard ledge here. And this is going to work out for Dracarys when he goes to check Ether second, because he'll be right next to GT. He can go back in, because that will be their last location.
Yeah.
They still have to climb GT and do Aga, so it's another 20 in graveyard ledge. So it was holding out on us the whole way here. That means we have to have a sword on Ether, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And that's going to be very nice for Dracarys here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if the game wasn't over for him, yeah. It's just not an inconsequential amount of time for him to go all the way to the big chest and then back to Turtle Rock. So, and again, it's not first one done. It's the team average. So
it is in fact team average, and that can really just screw things up. If one runner has an issue, a cannon fall, a death, that can set your teammate behind a little bit. Remember, the race that they had earlier this week between these two teams, only the split was 9 seconds average between all 4 runners, so...
So, wait a second, there wasn't a sword. Where is that last sword? It must be pedestal then, right? Like...
yeah.
Wow. I mean, there's no other locations. We've seen everything. We've seen all of GT, all over Turtle Rock. Oh, you know what we didn't see? There's one other last location, Mimic Cave.
Oh, yeah, they didn't mirror to Mimic Cave because they had no reason to
there's
on
no
Team
reason
side.
to. Yeah.
By the way, I don't think we'll be seeing our last sword today.
We'll know through the credits. Because it has to be either, again, unless stuff keeps popping up that I'm missing. But we haven't seen Mimic Cave because there's no sense to do it. And there was no reason to check pedestal either because we literally just found the book, so...
Oh, did we see Spectacle Rock Cave? I thought we did. It was 300.
I think it was, yeah. They're thinking Zora. That's why he's grabbing that money.
And for Never Do Chickens, that should be most of the overworld, if not all of it, now cleaned up. So they have to be thinking, yeah, there's the reset to Mountain Cave for Alaszun. So there's a moment of, welp.
Yeah, you hate to see it come down to one location like that, but I mean, that's Randomizer, right?
that's a tough one to swallow. It's a bad location, to be sure. But even in the same, just for where it is. And it kind of backfired to have one of them go down left side of GT and not get the big key, and then go right side and not go through it because they'd already done all of left side.
Yeah. So Dragonstrike just has to make his way through Aga Tower and kill Aga 1, and then up to then Ganon, and Rayvis not too far behind.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they have left. Is as soon as Aga 2 falls here to Rayvis, he's going to be joining Dragonstrike in Castle Tower, and they'll pop up on the pyramid and fall right in. And with Temper Swords, Silvers, this should be a rather quick fight on Ganon for both runners here.
Drex used all his keys, so I think there must be a key upstairs. Just a couple more rooms for Dragonstrike as Rayvis makes his way through the dark rooms of Aga Tower.
Dracarys is going to get there first out of the two here. They've already done the climb, so this is literally a mirror and go over to TR, but
yeah,
this is going to be too little too late.
I do hope Rayvis picks up a couple arrows along the way. There are some in the pots up here, so hopefully he's paying attention to that.
Giving us a little music off the door with the hook shot. And that's Dragonstrike is going to be playing How Many Blue Balls Can You Throw at Me Today, Aga 1? We're already up to 2. Now, all 4 runners are going to see the same pattern, so there is no time to be saved here unless, you know, you happen to miss, and then that's time lost.
Our tracker telling us that the blue ball pattern's hot garbage today.
Well, it looks like he's calmed down a bit, so that will do it.
All right, time to kill Ganon.
All that stands between Team Hime and victory is a pair of dances with the big pig here. Let's see if we get the 1-1. No, just missed it by 1 slash. To a comment in chat, to get more than 15 blue balls on an Aga 1 fight, you have to have both the worst RNG possible and something has to go horribly wrong.
Yeah, he actually missed the 1 cycle there too by 1 slash, so it ends up with a 2 and 2.
That's where some of your time can kind of get away from you a little bit. He's also got 6 hearts. I don't remember if he has any bottles in reserve either.
Rayvis might be able to make us a little bit of time here if he can get the 1-1. He does get the first cycle there on the first phase, and it looks like he's in good position to get the 1 cycle in the second phase as well. Just a couple more arrows here from Dragonstrike.
That's one down.
Get your GGs in for Dragonstrike and Team Hime, as he will be our first finisher.
Right behind him, Rayvis is dealing with phase 4 of Ganon. And there it is. Let's see some GGs in chat for Rayvis. And Team Hime is going to come out on top of this one.
Yeah, GGs to them. Dragonstrike finishing with a 127.37 and Rayvis with a 128.07. And we did get double forfeits from Never Do Chickens. So we'll see if we can get everyone in here to talk about this mess of a seed, because it gave us so much so early and then hid the last item in the GT big chest. We're joined with Dragonstrike and Rayvis. GG's, guys. How you feeling about that?
GG's. Pretty exhausted.
I still hit quick.
I think you have an extra reason to hate Quake on this one for where it was.
I had the boots more.
Well, yeah, that was going to be my thing. Is you guys
Jesus, what a mental downbreaker! Holy,
you put off Saha, and I had mentioned like as soon as you had Dark World access, it made no sense really to go to Saha until you found that bow. So, you know, they had the boots a good 30 minutes. You guys.
I just looked at the what they had it like 7.5 minutes in, and we had like 40 minutes.
Yeah. So that was actually kind of going to be the decider. There was they got to Drac got to GT pretty early, about I don't know 3 or 4 minutes ahead of you guys, but they just isolated the GT the big chest. So that was kind of the difference when you guys opened that up. But we kind of lost our minds a bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's basically the lucky thing that happened to us. But yeah, we would have lost for sure against these guys. If you have boots even 15 minutes later, you're probably gonna lose. Like when we found the boots, we said, all right, we try to get into GT mode and hope for Quake in GT. Try to skip everything, basically hope for the 20 items there. And it's ridiculous because Dragon was the one who even checked when I was on the way to GT, like in Myers second item, Desert second item and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's the one who finds go mode first and finishes first. I was like, how is this even happening? How is that a possibility? But yeah, that GT Biggie right side into GT Big Chest is certainly a possibility.
I mean, Rando's gonna Rando, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, so the Invitational. Let's talk a little bit about the Invitational. You guys are able to get a split here. You got to feel at least pretty good about that, right?
I mean, when you see the first match where we basically threw it away a bit. I'm sorry, Dragon, but it is kind of a throw. But we tried to get 1-1. But I mean, 2-0 would have been amazing, but that's not something at least I was counting on.
Well, I mean, like, you know, the last match was so close, and then this one came down to, you know, them skipping Quake there. Count your yourself lucky in one of those situations, right? Like the Invitational is so tough. I mean, you guys showed how good everyone is by keeping these races so close, and this race didn't end closely, but it was close going up into GT. So
Yeah. So the last sword was actually on pedestal or what? I don't know where the last.
yeah, the last sword was on pedestal.
It's
Yeah,
on
we
pedestal.
saw the only two checks we didn't see in the entire game were Mimic Cave and the ped. So because they got the
Makes sense.
book and shovel, they got the book from the shovel spot, which you guys obviously didn't get. So they did the tablet checks and some things like that.
Yeah. Only good thing we won now. Next week, open, I think. GG's to them still. I think Alaszun, Dracarys, and Wolfie are a great team. Great guys. And they for sure, would have deserved that win. But Rando's got a Rando, and sometimes you're unlucky, and sometimes you are incredibly unlucky. So.
Yeah. So how you guys feeling going into the season? 1-1 is so much better than 0-2. We're just kicking things off here. We go into open mode next week. I'm not sure who you guys are playing next, but how you guys feeling about your chances in the division and thoughts about next week?
Go ahead, Dragon. Talk.
I mean, I just want to kick Illa's butt. That's all I'm gonna do. So.
Do you guys play Last Locationers next week?
No, not next.
Oh, okay.
The standard week.
Yeah, I mean,
again?
next week's open, and then is the standard, the casual boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure you guys are looking forward to the spoiler log races, because I don't see a team practice that mode more than you guys do.
I mean, we did not practice it as much as last time, but we will do a bit more when it comes to that. But I mean, I'm super happy because I got already more group stage wins when I actually played the game than last time. So it only took one game for me to get a group stage win. So that feels pretty good. Come whatever once.
All right. Well, I think you guys are going to go do another interview. Is that right?
Yep.
You're going to go over to the German restream. So I'll let you guys do that. Any last words though before we let you go?
From my side, just thank you for having us, GG's chat and everyone, and thank you Fear for doing this and all your staff. You guys doing amazing work, and hopefully we get a lot of close and fun and exciting races.
Thank you guys. Also, GG's Drag and Alaszun. Sorry for the Quake medallion. Be back.
Yeah, we apologize.
This was a really fun race to watch, so I was glad I was able to check it out, and your last race too was pretty insane. So I expect a lot out of these invitational matches. The competition is fierce. So GG's guys, and have fun over on the German restream. I guess it's going to finish this up here. Any thoughts, Zeruvian, about the seed in general or the league?
Oh, that Quake medallion, though.
Right, that was crazy.
Yeah, this seed was a good example of how the rando can just give you everything and then take it all away at the very end. And,
yeah, unbelievable. What a seed. What a seed.
There's one thing that I think is the most impressive thing about it, though. Orphan or not, the fact that Team Hime was that late to the boots and able to pull it in that close at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Shows you the level of competition that you're going to see in the Invitational all season long. So for these two teams, Never Do Chickens and Team Hime, these runners are absolutely fantastic, and you should be giving them a follow.
Yeah, 100%. Got the links to their channels in there. Lots of league action coming up today at 6:10 p.m. We've got the spoilers versus the Last Locationers on SpeedGaming 2. You don't want to miss that. 8:40, you've got the 2019 Titans Mitts of 2019 versus OP Got Good. Also on SpeedGaming 2, so you can just stick on that channel. At 9:10, we've got CLW versus the U-Tang Clan over on Speed Gaming 4. We've got the Bomb Squad versus the Pug Trio at 10:10 on Speed Gaming, as well the Speed Gaming Prime, and then we've got Double Dippers versus Shack Tools Digging Game at 10:10 as well on Speed Gaming 3. So tons of league action today, and it's week 1, so we're just getting started. So make sure you are following all of the Speed Gaming channels as well as the league channels for your open coverage. Thanks for doing comments with me today. I really appreciate that. And big shout outs to our trackers again, Westside Vandal and DJ Darkwing. There's so much with four runners, it's hard to keep track of everything. So really appreciate all the work that they did. So I'll leave you with the last word, and thanks everyone.
Yeah, and I'll give you a thank you as well for your agent for coming in hot, giving me someone to talk about the seed with. And this is just the beginning, everybody. If you have some rando action you want to watch, make sure you're keeping an eye on Speed Gaming, all 6 of our natural channels in the English language, and of course the 4 foreign language channels as well. And if this is not enough for you, there's also the Open League being hosted on the ALTTPR League channel, if that's more of your style of pace here. So with that in mind, I'm going to say a big thank you to everyone from Speed Gaming and from the League. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.